I think it's a better idea to sit in a chair because I don't want you to fall asleep. So sit in a very comfortable chair and allow your eyes to close. And now what I want you to understand is trance and hypnosis is about relaxing from doing any work. You're not going to be doing any work at all. I'm going to be doing all the work. You don't have to imagine anything. You don't have to try to relax. I'm not going to ask you to count down backwards from 10 or picture a beautiful lake. That requires work. I'm going to be doing all the work. So all I would ask from you to do as your eyes remain closed is just allow yourself to observe your breathing. Just notice what your body actually does as you breathe. You don't have to alter your breathing or take deep breaths. Just gently watch what your body actually does when you breathe. And if thoughts come by, just let them go. And as that's taking place, you can listen to every word I say, and you don't have to. You can ignore every word I say, and you don't have to. You can listen to every word I say, and you can ignore every word I say, and you don't have to. Because in trance, things that normally don't go together can join together to form new thoughts, new behaviors, new ways of thinking. And just continue to notice what it's like as you begin to watch the body breathe itself. Left to itself, the body knows how to breathe. Now you may begin to notice that a feeling of ease begins to arise. And that doesn't have to take place now. And it doesn't have to take place later. And neither you nor I know or realize when that feeling of ease is going to arise. And just continue to watch your body breathe itself. Outside sounds and noises no longer disturb you. They merely pass through you like wind through the trees. Any thoughts or doubts about whether this is working, those thoughts just pass through you like wind through the trees. And I'm just going to tell you some stories because when you were young, a little child, you had many, many learnings. When you were an infant, you had to learn the difference between your left hand and your right hand, the difference between your left foot and your right foot. You don't remember how you learned to crawl. But when an infant learns to crawl, there are 3 stages. First, that infant has to learn to pull itself along using just its arms. Then the infant on the second stage learns to pull themselves along with their arms and their legs at the same time. And in that third stage, when your brain is rewiring, the infant learns to move his left arm and his right leg, and his right arm and his left leg in coordination with each other to really get moving. And there came a point in your development when all of a sudden you began to make those first steps and you stood up. And when you stand up for yourself, you can see the world in a whole new way. And when you stood up for yourself that very first time, you could see the world in a completely different way. You were able to see new possibilities, new adventures, new things that you desired. And you don't remember how that happened. And when you grew just a little bit older and were still a small child, you had to learn, really learn, as you continue to just watch your body breathe itself. You had to learn in school how to write, how to print. And for me, it was very difficult. Was a capital M a capital W turned upside down? Or was a capital W a capital M turned upside down? And you had to figure out those bumps that made up some of those letters. And I was confused, and maybe you had some confusion. Was a small d a small b turned sideways? Or was a small b d turned sideways? And you don't know how your unconscious now resolved that confusion. But you were able to find clarity in what was once confusing. And you didn't know it at the time. But learning to write, to print, and then to do script, which was so much more difficult, became the foundation of taking notes when you studied, of being able to read books, of being able to communicate with others. That simple learning became the foundation of so many other things. And I remember there came a time when you needed to learn how to tell time. And at first it was very confusing for me. What did it mean to see a big hand on the 12 and a little hand on the 7? It didn't seem to make any sense to me at all. And what did it mean to have seconds and minutes? I had never seen seconds before or minutes before. I'd seen bicycles, and you'd seen dogs, and you'd seen cats. But what was a second? And one day, I walked downstairs, and I looked at that clock, and I could tell time. And you could never go back to not understanding how to do that. And you didn't know that that would become the foundation of so many new possibilities. The foundation of being able to meet up with friends. The foundation of being able to check how long you've been waiting for them, or how long it would be until you got to leave a boring situation, or how much time had flown by when you're really enjoying yourself. And now, something very interesting, really interesting, and you don't know what it is, and you can become more and more curious about it. But when you were a child, there was a time when you saw your first movie, the very first time you went into a movie theater, and you looked at that screen, that big screen, and maybe you didn't know what to expect. And the movie came on. And at first it was just a blank, empty screen, but you were able to watch that movie. And maybe you were able to focus in so strongly, to find yourself focusing in. Now, I'm not sure just how absorbed you became in that movie, so that time flew by. But I wonder just how easily and naturally, as you continue to watch your body breathe itself, I wonder how naturally and easily you can find yourself imagining that you're sitting in a movie and looking at a blank screen. And up in that screen is the image of you having the kind of confidence that really attracts women, maybe a kind you've never had before. And as that movie begins to play, noticing yourself walking into situations, looking strong, held up, head held up high, posture straight but relaxed, speaking in a deep and attractive voice, and seeing yourself approaching a woman with a sense of fun, with a sense of joy, not arrogance, maybe not even knowing what's going to happen, but what instead that sense of adventure that says, I'm going to learn something here. An embodied sense of confidence where you can feel your feet on the ground, grounded into yourself as a man. And just imagine, first and foremost, seeing it, an image of yourself talking to that woman and that woman laughing and feeling a connection with you. Notice what it's like as you allow yourself to imagine like a cord of light connecting your heart to her heart. Maybe, and I don't know how easily you can imagine, that energy, that cord of light surrounding her and surrounding you in a bubble that allows her to, and you to feel that sense of an amazing connection. And now notice what it's like as you step back from that and something magical and interesting happens. This time, see yourself in that situation talking to that woman, but magically, mysteriously, amazingly, suddenly, you find that suddenly you're in the movie and you're looking out through your eyes and just seeing that woman glowing with comfort and connection and desire for you. So you're actually looking through your own eyes. You don't see yourself, but you're looking through your own eyes at that woman as she smiles, filled with that beautiful energy of being connected to you. Maybe you see it. I don't know how you'll see it as a certain color. I don't know what that color will be. And then step out of it again and see yourself again in that image, looking and acting confident. See her maybe leaving that place with you. So excited to be with you. Now, my friend, as we wrap up here, I'm going to speak to the part of your mind that dreams dreams at night. Because whether you dream dreams or not, or whether you remember the dreams that you dream, you do dream at night. And when you dream at night, that's your way of processing the new learnings that you have. So tonight, for the next night and the night after that, and each and every time you listen to this induction, this trance, the mechanism in your mind, your brain that dreams at night, will dream a dream of this rehearsal so that each and every passing day becomes more and more real for you. And now, I just want you to notice what it's like as you stir yourself a little bit. Take a deep breath, open your eyes, shake yourself just a little bit, stand up. And I want to thank you so much. And remember to watch your emails because you're going to be getting more messages from me, more free gifts, more value. Every once in a while, I may show you a little offer to continue to work with me. But for now, remember to watch this multiple times. And when you get to the trance induction part, make sure you're sitting in a comfortable place. Don't do that. Don't listen to the trance induction if you're operating machinery or driving. And we'll see you in our next communication. Thank you so much for giving me your valuable time.